Welcome back, gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope we're live. I assume so. Again, with me is Kevin Gath and Dave. Gentlemen, what an amazing Elite Eight. I guess it's nothing short of elite. That's why they call it that. Any thoughts going into the round, or the previous round, I should say?
Another great round for March of the Madness. Lots of support, lots of donations been coming in, lots of chapter pride really starting to show its head if it hadn't already. So no, we are really getting down to the nail biters of this competition, and it's been fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. It's moving quickly. It's going to be sad that I'm not going to be on with you guys every Tuesday, but I'm excited to see what happens in the final rounds here.
All great things must come to an end. And with that, let's check in on our winners and losers of the Elite Eight, Dave.
Yeah, we got Devotee starting off. Oklahoma, Idaho. Juan, you tell me what you think of this. I know you picked the Vandals. You and Kevin both picked them. What do you guys think? What went wrong for Idaho, and how do you think Oklahoma is going to go forward with that whooping they put up on the Vandals?
I mean, end of the day, Oklahoma's the number one seed overall for a reason. I mean, Vandals, they'll always put up a good fight, but at the end of the day, it's hard to go up against the machine that has won, I believe, 4 or 5 of our March to Madness tournaments. So, I don't know. It's a hard beat.
Yeah, definitely. Oklahoma raised $7,774 to Idaho's $1,440. So pretty big stomping there, and they're definitely cementing their Hall of Fame title in this tournament.
For sure. I'm not too ashamed to admit when I was wrong. Last week I picked the Vandals to take that one. And it came up short, with that final total there. So once again, Oklahoma proving that they deserve and want to be in this competition each and every year. So not too surprised there, but definitely thought that Idaho was going to give them a better run for their money. Yeah. Moving on to Cockrell.
Well, I did want to say, Kevin, for those keeping track at home, you are officially batting .250 in the Elite Eight, which is about 500 better than your previous round. So I'm really proud of you there.
Yeah, I'm hovering around the Mendoza line in baseball terms, so it's not ideal, but I have a feeling we're gonna turn that around this week. In Cockrell, let's talk about this matchup with Maryland going up against Nebraska. There was a lot of drama in the Maryland the March Madness bracket this past week against Colorado State. There was also some drama going on with Maryland against Nebraska, both resulting in buzzer beaters, ironically. So there only difference is there's no complaints of traveling in March to the Madness like there was with the game there with Maryland and Colorado State. So Derek Queen is not involved with SA as far as we know it. So none of that. But Maryland does pull off that win. Not only a win, but an upset. 5 taking down the number 1. The final total there, 3,431 to 1,275. So Maryland moves on, taking down number 1 Nebraska in that challenge.
Yeah, it was a good one. I was excited to see Maryland come through at the end in the final minutes. Pretty cool to see them just drop a bunch of money and take out a 1 seed. Something we could not do as we move over to Kerr. Indiana State 5 seed against Texas 1 seed. Indiana State could not pull it out. My Sycamores, to be honest, I'm really proud of us. This is the first we've ever gone, never seen an Elite Eight. We've raised a ton of money for the foundation this year. We got a lot of people involved that hadn't been in a while. So I think it was a great showing for Indiana State, but just not enough at the end of the day as Texas beat us 1,700 to 1,025. So we still put up our best effort. Tom Killian, CEO of the foundation, definitely rallied some troops. It was great having a little co-captain help this year, but just not enough to get onto that Final Four. But maybe next year, we'll see.
For sure. Well, and you said it yourself, like the guys from your chapter that have not, been as involved, perhaps getting much more involved here. That's one of the things that this is about, right? Is that sense of chapter pride and having some fun while you're doing it. Like, yes, it does go to the foundation. It does benefit, SAE long-term. But I mean, I think for me, that's what a lot of that is about. Like, if you enjoyed the ride, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, I'm excited at the end of this tournament to see, kind of where all the teams, fall in how much money raised throughout the tournament and how many donors and things. I think that'd be cool to highlight in our championship live, and maybe we can get some numbers ready for that. But I think we did a really good job, to be honest. Obviously, I wish we could have kept going forward, but little guys don't seem to be moving on, Juan.
Well, I mean, I'll give it to Indiana State, though. I mean, next year, I think you guys are definitely going to go up in the rankings, and I can't wait to see what happens when all members support their chapter all the way through, Dave. But that brings us to the Foster region.
It does. Speaking of the little guy, Bucknell's Cinderella story comes to an end as they fall to Mount Union. Very one-sided with this one. Bucknell just did not have the ability to stick through for the entire tournament. But again, shout out to them and the guys from that chapter. I mean, what a showing for this 12 seed. I mean, look at who they're around, right? 1s, 2s, 5s, and a 3, and then here's Bucknell at 12. So definitely one that got a lot of fans from their showing this year with March of the Madness. But yeah, ultimately the final tally comes down to $270 raised compared to $2,130. So Mount Union is going to continue into the tournament, and again, what a great showing from Bucknell to make it this far. But Mount Union is going to take it and move on to this next round of the competition. Yes,
kind of sad to see Bucknell go. I mean, they ruined us, and I think it was around a 64. Didn't expect it. They raised a ton of money early on. Like you said, 12 seed. I don't think there'll be a 12 seed next year, and. To be honest, I'm shocked that they were even here, at this point. But that was my only wrong pick last week. So while Kevin's batting less than 250 or something, I'm 3-4 picking against my own team. You guys thought I was crazy, but whatever,
All right, let's get right into the Final Four. We are officially here. We definitely need a musical transition. Add that to the marketing department. So here we are in the Final Four, guys. Oklahoma versus Texas, number 1 seed versus number 1 seed. I think this may be their first matchup against each other, and it's rare for us to actually get number 1 seeds going up against each other. I think longtime rivals Oklahoma and Indiana are prime examples, but beyond that, I feel like this is actually pretty rare in the tournament. How are you feeling?
I don't know. This one I feel like is going to be, down to the wire. If Oklahoma comes in big, these are both teams that tend to raise money all day long, and then an additional money in the last, 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so. So it should be interesting to see what happens here. It also has big implications for that championship, right? If Oklahoma or Texas has to spend a ton of money to move on, what will that mean for the championship? Will they have the legs to keep on going? I'm not sure. I'm excited to see this, a little SEC matchup, but it's going to be a nail biter. That's for sure. What do you think, Kevin?
Last week I gave the Vandals my blessing, I guess you want to call it that. They were my pick. Oh man! Look, if history's any teacher, I've got to go with Oklahoma. I know that Jack Counts is watching right now, and he's probably chuckling to himself, like we really showed Kev. I'm not, I'm not crazy. I'm gonna go with Oklahoma over Texas this week, going into the final matchup. So, give me Oklahoma.
Well, that being said, I feel like that means we probably have a Texas move on, just with your percentage of accuracy. So,
man, that's harsh.
I just hope both teams have fun.
I'm sure you do.
The numbers is usually how I go by, and with both of them being the same seed, it's really hard for me to make a decision.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I had to pick one. I'm probably taking Oklahoma with Texas, or Oklahoma with Kevin to move on. I think they've just proven themselves time and time again, and it's hard to pick against somebody like that. Juan, what do you think about Maryland versus Mount Union? I know both of these are later seeds, and you love picking the little guy, and Mount Union's close to your heart. I feel like so.
I know. I always love picking the little guy. I'm still rooting for Mount Union. It's a little bit smaller of a school in Maryland, but honestly, this is what I'm talking about when we're talking chaos. Like, both groups have very similar play styles, and I think it's really going to come down to the end. And the best thing for them to do is like play all day long, just so that they like get a good starting point. But I'm interested to see how everything's going to shape up in the end. Honestly, it could go either way, but I'm still going to go for Mount Union on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I like you said, the play styles are so similar. I think both of them in the last round probably put together about $5,000 in the last 5 minutes. Mount Union, I think, was sitting at like $50 all day up until that last 5 minutes, and ended up raising, $2,000 to beat Bucknell. So it'll be interesting. I think I'm going to go with Maryland on this one, and maybe we'll get a Maryland-Oklahoma final.
I am very close with the Province Archon here in North Carolina. Hondo David's an alum from Maryland. I have a lot of love for Hondo, but listen, I got to say, we've got some loyal watchers that tune in to these recaps every week, and one that I want to shout out is Jim Krapenk. And last week he said, Dave and Kevin, Mount Union would love your support next week when we go up against Maryland. I mean, he called it. He called this. So I'm going to show some love to Mount Union, and I'm going to go ahead and give them my vote to take this one. So sorry, Hondo, nothing but love, but I'm going to go with Mount Union on this one. So my championship prediction is going to be Oklahoma taking on Mount Union.
Sorry, Hondo. Sorry, Mount Union. You just sank them in the end.
How's that?
Because you picked them.
y'all got to get off me on these statistics. Statistics are just statistics.
Statistically, you have a 50-50 shot here. So 50-50 times 50-50. You have a 25% chance of randomly being right. And
That's
somehow
right.
You're going to have 100% chance of being wrong next week.
I doubt it.
I'm calling it now, Dave.
Oh, let's talk NCAA real quick before we sign out. I know we got a short show today with only a few teams, but how are you guys' brackets doing? You contending? I know we got a little work one going on.
I'm busted. Last week I said, listen, if I'm being honest, like I wanted to pick my Tar Heels last week when y'all asked, but I got to be realistic. And they obviously showed up, to prove me right that they weren't going to make it far of that first round, and they even had to play in. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna show some love to Clemson, and then they let me down. So shout out to South Carolina New. I need you guys to get them in gear. I can't pick Duke. I refuse to do it. So if you're asking, like, do I have like a second shot at this? Oh man, Auburn. Probably Auburn. I had funny enough, I had a call with the executive board at Mother Mew last night, and I told them, I said, look, I don't pull for Bama often, but if it comes between y'all and the Blue Devils, I need y'all to put them in their place. So anybody but Duke, that's where I'm at. Yeah,
Alabama Auburn's my championship game, so I still got them in it. I think I have Auburn winning, so we'll see. Tough loss for UNC in that tournament. I mean,
but we don't have to talk about it.
Just showed up late, we don't have
to talk about it, Dave. It's all right.
All right.
But shout out to my guys. Shout out to my guys at North Carolina's. Hope you guys are watching. So go Heels.
All right. I love it. As always, great shout out to all the teams that have participated this year so far. We couldn't have a great tournament without you, so we really appreciate all the support you've shown and all the love you have for SAE. Dave, Kev, any final thoughts going into the Final Four?
Same as I always say, what a joy it is to be able to hop on with you guys every week and recap this. And, it was funny enough, I was talking to, some other headquarters staff, different fraternities that I've connected with over the years. And to hear them think just how great of an idea this is and how fun this sounds, and how they're wanting to replicate, right? And I think that is the history of SAE, right? Like, so many attempts at replication, but never as authentic. And I love this competition. I love seeing, the chapters get energized about it. I love seeing the alumni get energized about it. it truly is, in terms of SAE, it's one of my favorite times of the year for that reason. So yeah, shout out to all the chapters that have contributed, to anybody who's donated. Even if you're, again, like I say every week, if your chapter's not in it but you've donated to support the foundation, good on you. Thanks for supporting, and let's have some fun as we go down to this last bit of the wire.
Definitely look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. And I don't know if we'll have a championship recap video, but maybe we'll get the winner on, whoever wins, and we'll have some guests and things. But stay tuned for that. But yeah, next week for sure, and then maybe one more.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, until next time.
Take care.
Thank you.